Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Saturday morning Paranormal Weekend Morning Brew Show with Nighthawk and Eric. Eric's backstage here. We're going to be starting here in a little bit, and we're going to get into some really heavy subjects today. So I hope everybody's ready in the chat. We're going to pick your brains, and we're going to pick what's left of our brains. So that being said, copyright disclaimer is this channel may use some copyrighted materials without specific authorization of the owner, but contends that it falls under the Fair Use Act, which is otherwise known as the Copyright Act of 1976. Nighthawk High Strange, this podcast channel and all the podcasts on channel declare fair use of any and all content, including the music, to be used for allowances made for fair use purposes such as criticism, commentary, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, research, parody, general knowledge only, and let's not forget entertainment value. Per Title 17, subsection 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976, otherwise known as the Fair Use Act. Okay, let's get that off of there. And got to go way up top. Alrighty, let's see here. And good morning, Eric.
Good morning, my brother. How you doing?
Oh, it's one of them mornings. A slow, sluggish morning.
Stay off the keyboard, dude. You're being a bad boy. Do you want down? You got to stay off the keyboard. Yeah, we got a real good deal going this morning, brother. I can't
Good morning,
wait
Roxanne. Good morning. Good morning.
Watch out.
Yeah, where we left off on your show. Yeah, definitely. Let's see. Say hello to everybody this morning. Hello, everybody.
Yeah, I've seen Stuart and Roxanne's commenting so far. So, if y'all remember, I did a show. Oh, go ahead. All right, now you gotta get down.
I can't get the chat to work for me right now.
It's I'm doing it on my phone, but
oh well. Anyways, I know it's glitching. It's glitching real bad.
Mm-hmm. If y'all remember, Sunday I did a show on Lilith, and hey Ray, how's it going, buddy?
Morning, Ray.
I kind of had the connection with Lilith, and she's known as the mother of demons, the mother of monsters. Hey, aunt. See, and I also put the connection that she was the first reported vampire in recorded history. She survives off of the souls of the children and the souls of men who sleep alone. She'll come and either kill a mother and child at childbirth, or she'll kill the child during childbirth, or she'll kill the child shortly after childbirth. And then she also comes and lays with single men and have sex with them in a dream, and either A, steal their seed, or B, steal their life. So she was the oldest recorded vampire that I found in history, and she dates back to even Samaria, and I believe even before then. So I put the connection. Could she be the mother of vampires? This is where vampires come from. So then William chimed in and said, hey, what about her having red? She's got known for having red hair. How about her being the mother of the Nephilim, or even tied with Lucifer? And so therefore she's also tied with the giants and Lucifer and vampires all in one. And I was like, holy crap, I never put that together. It just, I don't know if you guys caught the show or not, but you can see me. It clicked right there. It's like, that fits. You got the Nephilim, who's known as the red-haired giants. So a little backstory real quick before I get too far into it. Lilith is Adam's first wife. She was created from the earth. Hey, Rhonda. She was created from the earth, the same as Adam. Now, on one story, Lilith had some bad dirt, contaminated dirt mixed in with hers when she was created. the others not. So I mean, whichever side of the spectrum you want to fall on, either way. I mean, both of them encounters are out there in history of how Lilith was created and why she became the way she did. But she left Adam in the Garden of Eden because she said, I am made from the dirt the same as you. I should be as equal as you. So I should be on top there in the intercourse. I should not lay underneath you. That is beneath. That is not right. So she left, and God sent 3 angels after her to bring her back to Adam. And they caught up to her in the Red Sea, and she refused. There's several stories throughout all ancient history about her flying off whenever she refused to do this. But you was born red hair, Roxanne? Oh crap. Yeah. We know where this is going here. We gotta keep an eye on Roxanne. So and so that was the story behind Lilith. Then one story tells you she married the water demon. The other stories will tell you she married Lucifer. Later on in the Bible, it talks about when Cain killed Abel, he left and went to the city to find a wife when he ran into Lilith. And Lilith is known to be communicating with the seven-headed dragon. So she's throughout history, both biblical and pre-biblical history, she's talked about in there. So great. If you remember the joke, Roxanne, I'll just leave it at that. And their joke about redheads and blondes. But so this is something this is something we got to talking about on my show, and then that's when he said, "Hey, she's known with having red hair. The Nephilim are known for having red hair," and I went, "Holy crap!" I've talked about this. I've talked about this several times. There's different kinds of giants. There's not just one giant. And everybody associates Nephilims with giants. And I'm like, no, there's been several different types of giants, pre-flood and post-flood. There's been multiple types of giants. So I'm wondering, hey, this kind of makes sense. They got red hair. She's got red hair. She became evil. They're mostly known as evil. And then he brought up the Lucifer thing, which, yes, one of the ancient stories says that she got with Lucifer. And in the Bible, the seven-headed dragon, which is Lucifer, she's talking to him about bringing back the Nephilim, or she's talking about bringing back her children because she was cursed that every single day 100 of her children will die. And she, like I said, she's known as the mother of monsters or mother of demons. My baby book says eyes black, and now we just had a baby boy born almost 2 months later. Eyes black. Interesting, Aunt. Huh. That is peculiar right there. I've seen that, but I'll be honest with you, I've seen more of that.
The colors in a child's eyes, the colors in a child's eyes. Yeah, the colors of a child's eyes basically don't change until like after a few days. So, usually if they come out with the black eyes, they're either going to have brown eyes or blue eyes, one of those two. So that's the most common when they come out, with the real black eyes.
That's what I was about to say, because I know on the Hispanic side of it, most of them. Go ahead. Yeah, I know with the Hispanic side of it, a lot of their babies are born with black eyes and they end up turning brown. So that's what I was kind of thinking.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why we kind of want to talk about this connection between Lilith, Lucifer, vampires, and red-haired giants. Hey, Cynthia, good morning. So, with that being said, what do you guys think? If you guys caught that show, and what's your guys' opinion as we get ready to dive into this? No, you don't need up on there. I just got on to.
Well, also the other thing too.
Hey, Juno.
Good morning, Juno. Good morning, Stuart.
You guys are being a pain in the ass this morning. Go ahead, brother.
I was just going to go through and just say too that there were some questions on your channel about Native Americans and stargates and stuff like that too. And you know,
Yeah, that was on
in order to
channel.
see the one thing that we always try to do, you and I, Eric, is we try to connect the dots and things, the Lilith connection and then the Lucifer connection with the vampiric and then the red-haired giants. You know, I mean, it all ties together. Okay, there's not one thing in this realm, in this world that we live in, that isn't connected to another. And it just takes some of us dots, you know. And you know, we can go even so far as to say that, you know, the reason civilizations fail time and time again is because of that negative influence. That's why we have civilizations built upon civilizations in this world. And you know what we're being taught is completely fake and false and basically just speculation. It's not science, it's not knowledge, it's speculation. Okay, these are people that think that they know more than we do. Okay, so I take what I'm taught in school and in business and all that, and with the laws and all that, I take that with a grain of salt. You know, there is such a negative presence in this world that causes the children of to suffer so much that it's getting overwhelming now. It's kind of like I don't want to say this. There's a certain subject in the Oval Office, and you know, I sent out. I guess you could have said it was a mean meme, but it really wasn't. It was a T-shirt that I found that somebody had made up, and it had the wood tick, the deer tick, the dog tick, and then it had the lunatic on it. And we all know who that is.
Heck yeah.
So, you know, I mean, it is what it is, but it is literally all connected, guys. And we just need to be able to find out and figure out how and why and where are we going with this. Well, I don't know about you, but I'm not going to go too far. That's for sure. I don't like to be followed. Subjects actually put bullseyes on ourselves, and you know, it is what it is. But in order to get answers, we've got to ask the right questions. So that's why we depend on everybody in the chat to help us out. So,
yeah. Well, we're a community comes together to figure things out. That's why we have the greatest followers in the world, because everybody wants to, you know, everybody's got a different point of view. It's just like I said on Jessica's show the other day. You know, we sit around a circle looking at an object, and we get up and move around and look at it a different way. That is exactly what we do on our shows and with our amazing, amazing followers that we have on both our channels. Yeah, we can't ask for a better group of people. We all have a different outlook on it. We all have a different opinion on it, and that's how we come together to figure things out. So, I mean, we are truly blessed. Sorry, my allergies are jacking with me, and I'm having drank a little coffee a little bit more than usual. But yeah, I mean, I was on Jessica's show Thursday night, and you know, Da commented about the Stargates and Native American, and you know, saying the medicine wheel was a Stargate. I didn't want to comment a whole lot on it because I don't know a whole lot on that side when it comes to that. That's why I told everybody I would get with my brother William here, because he is the man to go to with these questions. So we'll hit that subject today as well. Hey, David, how's it going, buddy? No worries, man. No worries. So this is what this morning's topic is going to be is the connection between Lilith, giants, vampires, Lucifer, and the Native American Stargate. So with that being said, have you guys got any questions before we start on diving into the Lilith and let's take the vampire subject first. We'll start with that and then we'll move in with the Lucifer and the giants as well. Then we can go from there. Um, is there anything else you guys want for us to dive into when we started getting into this? Because this is for you guys, so I value you guys' opinions and questions very, very much.
If anybody's got any questions or comments about the subject, please feel free to put it in the chat, and we'll post it up, and we'll get to the meat and gravy of it. So, but as far as the native stargates go, you know, just to get it going here, D.A. Roberts was right about the medicine wheels being stargates, but only certain ones. They have to be on a sacred land that has been blessed a certain way. And I'm not going to describe what that blessing is because I don't need anybody going through a stargate. It needs to be blessed. It needs to be made of the elements in the area of where the sacred ground is. Like the stones need to be laid in a certain way and pattern to make the medicine wheel. The center's got to be a certain size to where the person sits in the center, and it's got to be a certain diameter, in around. So I put it to you this way. To look into the Native American stargates, the indigenous inhabitant stargates, you have to look no further do you have to look than the Anasazi. The Anasazi were the ones that started using the stargates, okay? And they had the hogans in the center of their village without the roof on it, in a circle, and that was where they would do that stargate opening, a portal opening, whatever you want to call it, ceremony. Okay, and those ceremonies last for days on end. Okay, it's the Anasazi were such a connected people that they weren't even from here. Okay, and a lot of people think that, yeah, they were native people. Well, yeah, in a way they were native people, but the Anasazi weren't even from here. That's the thing. Okay, so the knowledge that they had about the stars and the heavens and the moon and the sun and all that, they knew firsthand because they observed it. Okay, they lived it. Okay, they saw the birth of it. They saw all that. The Anasazi were old ancestors that basically started out somewhere else and came here after their son died. Okay, and what I mean by son, I mean SUN, not SON. Okay, and they came here, and then they started, the portal ceremonies and stuff within the Anasazi soon disappeared. Okay, and everybody wonders where they went. Well, the Anastazis were travelers. Okay, they were the nomadic of the nomadic. Okay, they were a people that were brought up on super spirituality. Okay, the to take the power from within us and recirculate it into the ground that we walk on. Okay, and that's why most native people, most of the indigenous nations and cultures around the world tell you, whenever you doubt that your mother earth is alive, all you got to do is put your bare foot on the ground or put your bare hand onto a tree and you'll feel a heartbeat. Okay. That's all it is. Okay. And the Anasazi knew that. Okay. So, but yes, there is stargates. There is Native American stargates, no matter what you call them. I know of one medicine wheel in Wyoming that you know has been used in that manner before the national parks took it over and cordoned it off. Um, and that's why a lot of the governments, you see, the fact of the matter is, we as indigenous nations weren't allowed to perform our ceremonies out in the open or at all until the early 1970s. Yes, I said the 1970s. Okay, that you know, we lost a lot. We lost like it must have been let's see, almost we lost almost 80 to 90 years worth of ceremonies. Okay, which means we had a whole generation grow up basically with having to do the ceremonies in secret. Okay, and I remember those days of doing it in secret. So until the government of the United States actually passed a bill where we actually do our spiritual beliefs in the open, um, as long as it was on our properties, on our reservations or our own land. And one of those ceremonies is literally the medicine wheel ceremony. So, and the Sundance ceremony, the giveaway ceremonies, the sweat lodges, all that. Okay, these are all the things that we were allowed to do finally in 1972. Okay, so that being said, yes, there are Native American stargates.
Melissa has a question. Melissa wants to know how to tell if you have a Stargate.
Well, if are you talking actual stargates? Because a stargate to me, and what I've been taught is a stargate is going to be a circle, okay, a sacred circle or a sacred hoop, whatever you want to call it, okay, and it's made with the elements in the area, okay. Like say if I lived in the mountains and I had a lot of grapevine around me and all that, and no water, no rocks to use, just grapevine and leaves and twigs and stuff like that, then I would make my medicine wheel out of the grapevines. Okay. And I would use the dirt, the Mother Earth, the skin of Mother Earth to make the risers around the medicine wheel and the directions on the medicine wheel. Okay. And that would be my Stargate. Okay. You use what you have in the area. Okay. Now, if you come across something in the woods and it looks like it's made specifically in a circular motion, don't walk through it, because we are not the only ones that know how to do these things. Okay. As indigenous people, the elders that I know talk about this a lot, and it is a subject that they don't take lightly. Kind of like the Walker subjects out there, if you know what I'm talking about. I'm not going to say the whole name, but Ryan and Shane know, and you, Eric, know what I mean when I say walkers.
Mm-hmm.
But want to, in order to activate the Stargate, you have to put forth the effort into knowing it and making it. Okay, because it's a part of your energy too, just as much as it's a part of the universal energy. Okay, plain and simple. All right. So, and we all know we have a 6-foot field around us. Okay, it's it's been proven. We have a 6-foot field around us of energy of our individual selves. Okay, and when we utilize that energy, it's like I taught everybody with the whole manipulation of the energy. Okay, you use your hands, you use your thought process, okay, and your imagination, and you can manipulate your energy. Okay, and you can use that energy just like they do in Asian cultures. As far as defensive moves, striking moves, and just for healing. There's all kinds of things you can do with your energy. Okay, we just have that knowledge, or at least all of us don't have that knowledge. Some of us do. Okay, so good morning, Dog Cat Glades. Good to see you. Woo Rider, good to see you. What was that? Let me see what Woo Rider just said.
Yeah, I just had that up. There's one up above that I didn't post just because I don't want that out in public. So I left it in for just chat only. I posted his comments earlier, but the one of them I'm leaving out just for safety reasons.
Okay.
So with my experiences with that, I mean, I know there is like when it comes to the medicine wheel, you'll go to areas and you'll find a circle of rocks and everything is shaped as the medicine wheel. Usually it's on a high place. Usually it's along the natural energy of the earth. But that's all I know on that. Dog Cat, hey, good to see you.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I didn't want to speak on it because I'm not as familiar with it as I am the Sumerian ones. But that is what I knew. Now that can also be either a Stargate, but that's also a teaching deal too. So it can be easily mistaken as a teaching when you're teaching the young ones about the medicine wheel, because we have the four directions of the earth. You have east, south, west, and north. East is birth, south is childhood, west is adulthood, north is old age and death.
Elderly.
It complete.
Yeah,
elderly. I was trying. Thank you. I was trying to remember the term, and so that's how the medicine wheel is based off too. You got the colors. I mean, everything has a purpose, a meaning, and a symbol to it. So I've heard in stories of them having rocks formed up for a Stargate and Native American stuff that looks like the medicine wheel. But I've also known they've done that to teach the young ones about the medicine wheel as well. So that's why I was like, I don't really want to comment because my knowledge on that is not nearly what yours is.
Well, I'm going to show you guys some things here. I'm going to break out my medicine bundle and show you basically what I use every time I do a ceremony outside. And that is this is part of a ceremonial positionings. Okay, this is what I would use when I was doing Humblatia Vision Quest. I would use it as a portal Stargate ceremony. But I have parts of Mother Earth all the sacred colors. The green for Mother Earth, the purple for the ancestors, the blue for Father Sky, the black, the yellow, the white, and the red, which is the medicine wheel colors. Okay, the universal medicine wheel colors. And then I have my tobacco prayer tides on there too. Okay. Now, what I would do with this is I would bless the ground first off, okay, in a clockwise manner. Okay, it's always clockwise. Okay, if you do things opposite direction of clockwise, you're a heyoka, and what that means is you are a trickster. Basically, a heyoka is somebody that likes to mess around with people. Okay, and usually gets them in trouble. But I've got these. I've got the rocks that I use. I've got the red blanket that I use. You know, there's all kinds of things that you would use in that situation. Okay. And it's like I said, what you have, you use. Okay. A lot of medicine wheels are going to look different from the ones that you see. Even the Egyptians had stargates. Okay, and they knew how to work them. So, in fact, there was some rumors going around that the Egyptian stuff that they found in the Grand Canyon had a stargate in it, and how they connected that to the distance over where the pyramids in Egypt are. Um, they said that they've got another basically stargate there too underneath the Sphinx. Okay, so maybe that's how they got to America. You know, I mean, who knows? Okay, or how they got to the Grand Canyon, but or did life start here for all these cultures, and then they use the Stargate and disappear, and then along comes the next civilization that builds on top of that civilization, and they discover the Stargate, and they travel through the Stargates, and then so on and so on. You know, it's just one continuous chain of civilization building on top of civilization. And that's why I always say that what we're taught in school and universities and all that, and what our mainstream scientists tell us, is a load of crap. That's all it is. They don't know any more than we do. Okay. And if they do, they withhold it because they don't want you or I to have that knowledge. Okay.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I thought you. Yeah. So I mean, it's great stuff. I mean, and you guys got to think too. Everything has a purpose. Everything has a meaning. Everything has a symbol. And if you do something wrong, that's why I tell you guys all the time: don't be picking stuff up out in the woods unless it tells you to. You know, my interesting rock ear, I was led to
Yeah.
it. I didn't see it. I was led to it. I felt a pull in this direction, and when I saw it, that's when I knew I was meant to have that. It was gifted to me by the Fae in the woods or the good spirits in the wood, whoever it was. They're the ones
Right.
that gifted me that rock, and that's why you. Everything has a purpose, has a meaning. Has its own deal. You have to be careful, and that's why you don't pick stuff up in the woods unless you're told to. That's why you don't interrupt things that you're not supposed to interrupt. I mean, you have to be careful on this stuff. You know, that's why people accidentally get
Yeah.
put in
Yeah.
portals.
It can. Yeah, it can actually bite you in the ass in the long run, to tell you the truth. I mean, that's about the plain and simple way of
Mhm,
saying it. Um,
mhm,
there is so much that we have forgotten, um, and the knowledge and all that we have forgotten. Even myself, when I talk about the energies and all that, I try to manipulate my energies some days, but to the to make the day better, or at least experience more good than bad. But here lately, my energy has been focused on not aggression or anything like that, but more frustration and just you know just high anxiety than anything. And
mhm.
I think that is honestly because of the way things are going in the world today. Castor Pollux, good to see you. I haven't seen you in a while. Thank you. Ozzy Sue, great to see you. Um, but it's like I've always said, everything is connected, and I can't make it any plainer than that. That everything we do has been done by the civilization before us. Okay. And it just seems like, they say history repeats itself, and it does. You know,
Mhm.
if we built all those grand cathedrals around the world, in the 1800s, all those grand architectural designs and all that. Why aren't we making them today? Why aren't we making buildings like that today? Because we
How
didn't
is
build
it that
those.
how is it with our equipment that we have today that's supposedly more superior than anything that any ancient person has, and it can't even build the pyramid?
Yep, exactly. Exactly. And we have to ask ourselves too, and I'm not a professor or anything, don't even play one on TV. But,
Mhm.
we have to ask ourselves when they made the pyramids, okay, when they made the pyramids, they made an architecture wonder. Okay. They made a way to connect the living earth to Father Sky, okay, to Tungashila, grandfather, to honor and to take the energies and send the energies to other places. I really do believe that the pyramids were built for that specific reason. Okay. It's a
Mhm.
simple design, yes, but at the same time, it's a complicated design that, it would take eons, even today, with today's technology, for us to build. Okay. So that's why I think, with the whole connection, the Lilith and Lucifer and the red-haired giants and the vampires, these are all uh, beings that have been here longer than we have. Okay. These are more than likely the in the shadow beings that run the world. Okay. Here's a perfect example. Okay. The perfect example of a Stargate. You want to know a Stargate. Okay. Melissa, here, I'm gonna tell you a Stargate. One word. CERN. One word. They
Yep.
actually had a phantom demon that they called trapped within the Hadron Collider. Okay. That, that actually is a true bit of knowledge. Okay. CERN is nothing more than a Stargate. Okay. That they figured out how to make and use today's technology to make work. And what's sad about that is we don't know how many CERNs there are around the world, but I guarantee you there's dozens of them.
Mm. And they want to make it
So,
bigger.
yeah, exactly. But I mean, that's pretty much, a Stargate, sure, it doesn't have the cool little, hieroglyphic designs on it and all that you have to interpret to set your settings and stuff for your time and all that to where the portal will open. But it's all basically the same science. It's all basically the same. So you think it was from hell, William, or another dimension? I think they honestly, I honestly think they opened up the gates of hell. Okay,
Hmm.
and hold on before you crucify me for saying that, and that's a bad choice of words. I know. I'm sorry. Um, but they have stated time and time again, verbally and through news media announcements, um, that they are specifically trying to open the gates of hell. Okay, that they are trying to get to a demonic entity. Okay, and sure enough, they had one. Whether they have it still or not, I don't know. But they put it out that they had one. Okay. I think it's possible that every reset they orphan children and knowledge of their past. Yeah, yeah, I would say that too, Ozzy Sue. And that's the thing. If you think about the way things are going today, okay, you take and you see what's going on in our world today. What is the one thing that connects our current world today to past civilizations, and that is the children. What's happening to the children? Over 1 million children go disappearing every year. 1 million. That's a lot of kids. Okay. Over 500,000 adults go missing every year. 500,000 adults and 1 million kids every year missing without a trace. Okay. Is it possible that they walked through a portal and disappeared that way? Or is it possible that they're being used and manipulated for darker things? Okay. Let me see if I can pull up a picture of what I'm talking about here. Give me 1 second.
No worries. Yeah, so I mean, I agree with all these comments. CERN is doing a lot of evil crap out there. I mean, look at the dance they do. They do the Sheba's death dance before they fire the thing up. I mean, that alone should tell you the crap that they're into. And they got the Sheba statue out in front of it. It's not friendly, folks. What they're doing is not friendly. And the thing is, they hide it out in plain sight, but people don't have their eyes open to see this. They're just like, oh, it's an amazing thing you're doing. Ah, yeah, bull crap. I call bull crap on it. There's just too many variables that play into it that suggest me what they're doing is not a good thing and not to our benefit. And it is not to find the God particle. It is not to do any of that. And I believe they're trying to bring in the destruction. Now, man,
This is the one
I'm
thing
not a
I
fan
think of when I talk
Yes.
about the kids. This statement from William Tompkins says it all. I mean, they're being basically utilized like cattle. I mean, that's all it really is, unfortunately. And who would need all that blood and all that, elixir of life and all that, but vampires, red-haired giants, Lilith, and Lucifer. It all goes back to that. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
That's just my opinion, but
Yeah. And I made this comment on my show Sunday. The idol for women feminism hoo-ha thingy bobber. Now, I'm probably going to get crucified for saying that, but I really don't give two craps about it. They have Lilith as their idol. And I'm like, dude, do you not realize the crap that she does? By having her as your idol, you are condoning killing children and taking their souls. You're what you claim you're doing, you're not. Lilith is not a pleasant person. She is not a someone to look up to, folks. And the fact that they do that bothers me even more than what it did before.
Yeah.
We're not built the same for a reason.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I mean, population and others dumping. Yeah. And that's the thing, I made a comment on Jessica's show Thursday night. Somebody had asked me the question about the White House and blood. Well, let's leave it at that. And I said, yes, they're harvesting a certain little thing. It's called the elixir of life. There's a reason why certain person has said a certain thing about caves and flooding caves. I gotta be very careful how I say this on here so we don't get in trouble. So these orphans, these missing children, There's a reason why they're taken. There's a reason why things that's not very pleasant is done, and then you get what they call the elixir of life. So yeah, I mean, it's once again, there's your other connection right there with what you were saying with the orphans and being taken and being missing. I mean, it's all there. It's right in front of our noses. You just got to open your eyes and look at it. Um,
Yep.
Trying to get caught up in the
Exactly.
comments here, make sure I didn't miss a question. No, it's not, Roxanne. It really ain't. I'm
I'm
100%
digging.
against it. I I know. I'll be honest with you guys. Men are built different than women for a reason. Women are built different than men for a reason. Doesn't make one better than the other. We equal. When you come together as a whole, there's two halves, man, woman, that come together to make one being, one perfect being. We're each built in our own different ways to help each other out to become one whole being. You're never going to be whole unless you have the two halves to come together as a whole. That is what a relationship is. That's what a marriage is. That's what a union, i.e., union of two people coming together is two halves coming together to make a whole. You come together to make one perfect being. We are built that way for a reason. Thank you. I was trying to get caught up. So I'm just it's evil. There's so much stuff that there's so much evil stuff that is presented to us out there that is flowered up and perfumed up and la di da di da. Look at me, I'm so good. When you actually break the damn thing down, you're gonna go, that ain't good, bro. That's pure freaking evil. But you have to break it down. You can't just look at the
Yeah.
flourishing la di da di da. I mean, you have to break it down. Uh, yeah, I was talking about that earlier, Woo.
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely.
Lilith is also known as the first Eve. She was made from the earth, the same as Adam. Now, one story will tell you that she had some a foul earth, dirty earth that was put in with her. That's why she was the way she was. Other stories don't tell you that. It's really just what field you want to go on when it comes to that. But yes, she is Adam's first wife, also known as the first Eve. Whenever she was left and she refused to go back to Adam, is when God put Adam to sleep and from his rib made Eve that we know of. So yeah, you're correct, buddy. It's
Hmm.
a process we have to make it known to the young ones to be healthy in their thinking. Yes, I mean, and this is yes, Glades. Yeah, we really. Hey, Jessica, how's it going? I don't know if you caught it. We talked about the Native American Stargate to answer the question for your followers, Jessica. So I mean that's something if they want to get caught up on it, they can catch the show a little earlier. William talked about it, so that way to answer your guys' questions on there from Thursday night.
Yep.
Uh,
Yeah. Definitely. Good to see you,
so I
Jessica.
mean, this is something you guys got to think about. You can't just like I said, you can't look at the lottie dotty doll. You have to break it down and look at it and to understand if something is good or evil. In the end days, evil will become good, good will become evil. Remember that statement very much. No worries, no worries. Remember that statement that is one of the things from the current Bible that I agree with because it's true. You have to do this. So this is what we do. This is why we do the show because we're not going to go look at the glitter and the glamour and look at me, I'm so pretty. No, we're going to go. What's under that? And what are you
Yeah.
really hiding under that little sundress you got going on? And that's where we go dive in and look because
It's like
we
peeling
want to
back
know the truth.
layers of an onion.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. You're peel off the hard shell of a garlic and what do you got underneath, buddy? That's what we're wanting to do. uh, brainwashing. Yeah, Ozzy Sue. I mean, brainwashing is it. And I'll be honest with you. I don't watch near as much TV as I used to, and it's unbelievable how my mindset and my soul and my aura has changed just from backing away from the TV. Do I still have some shows that I like to watch? I still like to watch my man's soap opera called wrestling. So yes, I still watch, even though I'm sometimes going, what were you thinking, dude? But I still like to watch it. It's a man soap opera. But
Right.
I like my educational shows. I like my documentaries. I like my history channel. So there's shows I record and I watch, but I I don't sit there and watch them no more. Not like I used to. And I felt a huge weight off my shoulders when I stopped watching that stuff. Then I noticed my mind started working better, and I was able to see things more clearly. They use stuff like TV, radio, possessions, cars, or the latest clothing fab. Look at me, I'm so pretty, oh so pretty. They use this stuff to manipulate and brainwash you, so you have to be careful. So that's why when you buy stuff like this here, you're not getting brainwashed, you're getting the truth. Yes, it is,
Well,
Jessica.
the thing that Woo Rider just said, Eric,
Yeah.
you know, the elites, the
Hmm.
actual, whatever you call them, the shadow government, military industrial complex, whatever you want to call them, the powers that be,
Hmm.
where they have the
Hmm.
Council of Nine, the Council of Five,
Hmm.
they got all kinds of names for them. The information that they're releasing to the public is only just what they want you to know. If you
Hmm.
notice, they only go so far to release it and then they pull back every time. It's like the UFO disclosure thing, you know.
Yep.
They had all these great people up there in DC talking about it and talking about the cover up and all that, but nobody went beyond that. Okay, nobody has stepped up to the plate and said, okay, well, we have all these witnesses going and telling things about UFOs and alien contact and other beings being here and living amongst us. Um, Yet they're not actually following through. You know, it's
Hmm.
it's like it's like playing a game of golf.
Yeah.
You play a game of golf. You hit the drive. The main drive down the fairway. And then you try to constantly get that ball in the hole. Well, they're doing the drive down the fairway, but they're walking away from the green. You see what I'm saying? They're walking away from the green where the ball lays. They're leaving it lay, hoping that somebody will either pick it up and do what they don't want to do, or people will forget about it. Okay, plain and simple. That's the way it is.
Hmm.
Good morning, Larry.
Yeah. Yeah, 100%, So and things is your social medias, your TVs, your radios, all that stuff is used to take you from one place to another, to tell you that, hey, you're not good enough for how you are now. You're not good enough till you get this latest brand new little car. Look at this thing. This thing has an ashtray. It'll smoke a cigarette for you. Hey, it will roll down the window for you. It will drive for you. You're not cool. You're not hip unless you have this brand new car. Bull crap, folks. And that's why I always tell you people all the time, we need to take what they're doing to us and taking away our information and use that against them. If you want to win this war, you want to get this truth out there, you have to use those platforms that they're using against us. Switch the script and use it against them. I still have
Yep.
social media accounts. I'm
Exactly.
not on it as much as I used to be, but I got it for this reason. I'm using it to promote my books. I'm using it to promote a show, using it to promote other people's shows. I'm using it to get truth out there. I'm flipping the script on them. And that's what we all have to
Mm-hmm.
do. Until we come together and do that, man, it, it's a fight, yo. It's a fight. But it's, yeah. TV, radio stations are, yeah, they are, Ozzy. They really are. I mean, it really is. And that's why I love getting on this stuff. When I get on with you Saturday and Sunday mornings, man, my heart is filled with so much joy because I'm on with a brother that I love to death, and we speak truth. When I get on with D.A. Roberts, when I get on with Jessica, or I get on my own show, this is why I do this, folks, is to help people out. And we got to flip that script. And the only way we do it is we come together. Divided we fall, united we stand. And this is where we got to come to. So we come to these platforms and we whip this stuff around. We get the truth out there about Lilith, about Lucifer, about the red-haired giants, about the vampires, about the Stargates, about history. I'm always talking about that history. Learn your history. Learn it. From history, you know yourself. If you don't know yourself, you don't know your history. You got to know that, folks. So it's great. I know we kind of flipped off the subject here today. Never happens on this show. We never flipped off a subject on this show.
Well, but it's another subject I wanted to. Another subject I wanted to cover today too is the whole doppelganger theory. I wanted to ask everybody in the chat to basically give us your thoughts on what a doppelganger is, where they come from, why they're here. Are they clones just went awry? Are they from another dimension? Are they the evil side to our good side? Are they, there's so many different things out there for doppelgangers.
Oh God, there is.
Just kind of curious to see what you all think. So.
Oh yeah. You got things from their other dimensional to their clones, because they take our DNA and make new selves of us to get rid of us. It's the doppelganger, in which I personally have been affected by the doppelganger stuff. I've had people come up to me and say, dude, what's going on? I just seen you 5 minutes ago and you're heading this way. Why are you here? And I'm like, dude, I have not seen you in a few days. What the hell are you talking about? They're like, no, I literally just had a conversation with you over here. And you said you was going to do this. I said, dude, I have not seen you, and that is not me, dude. So, is that out there? I was on the wall about that for a very long time. Have I seen proof? Yeah, I've seen what I thought was me in locations, but I never really, I thought, okay, dude, I'm either higher in crap or drunker than a skunk, or I'm hung over and I'm seeing crap, because this was back when I was younger and still partied a lot. But then the more I started having experiences with people telling me this stuff, the more I started going, maybe there's some actual truth to this after all, I can't tell you one way. Hey, Amber, I can't tell you one way or another on how it is, but I can tell you it happens. But there's a lot of theories on there of what doppelgangers come from. CERN is another one. I forgot about that. CERN is another reason why people say we have doppelgangers.
Yeah, that they're pulling them in from another dimension or parallel universe, which very well could be. But see, what I was taught growing up, looking at it from the indigenous way of looking at things, my father always told me that there's, it's like that story of the good and the bad wolf inside you, that these basic doppelgangers are more malevolent and the evil side to our personality, and that our personality on that side wants to come forth so badly that it uses our energy to produce itself. Okay. And there have been reports of doppelgangers that have been combing their hair in front of a bathroom mirror, and the person walks in and sees their selves combing their hair, but they don't get to see their face. They just see the backside of them. And I think honestly that is a manipulation of our evil side to mankind. I think that is a way for Lucifer or whatever demon type of control puts themselves in that. And everybody talks about shapeshifters and stuff, and I'm not talking the walkers. Okay, we're not going to get into that subject. Because walkers are completely separate from shapeshifters.
Yeah, I don't
Okay,
need other
and
instruments out here.
yeah, and but we say that whenever we get possessed, it's a demonic possession. Okay, well, what's to stop a demon from turning themselves into looking like you, so they can tap into your evil side or your bad side, your your voodoo, side of you, to manipulate
Mm-hmm.
you and to get rid of you and have the evil one take over. You know,
Yeah.
what about that theory? I mean, doppelgangers have been reported for eons.
Mm-hmm.
Or are they just clones that somebody's cloning people and basically releasing them, and these clones find their way to the actual person that was cloned? And I'd be interested to see how many people that reported their doppelganger. I would be interested to correlate that with possibly alien abductions.
Hmm.
And the reason I say that is because you hear about all these alien abductions and stuff of people, and they usually pick people with certain eye color or certain physical attributes, almost like they are selecting them to be cloned. So
Mm-hmm.
could it be alien manipulation creating doppelgangers? Yeah, I think it
No.
could too. So there's two things right there. So
Well, look at ancient history, and they talk about how some of the gods create new cloned bodies for themselves so that they can live for long periods of time. So, I mean, that's not out of the realm of possibility.
mhm.
A couple things I want to get up here. I showed them earlier, but I want to kind of hit them up um, right here. So, Glades made a couple comments. I'm going to pop up first, and I'm going to put up Aunts because she made some good ones too. There are people in existence that look like yourself naturally. Then there may be an actual doppelganger, which I'm not so knowledgeable, of course. I mean, you're a good point. And then he comes back later on and says, um, or at least a person can appear elsewhere as they are actually in another place being with. Yeah, I mean that's that. Yeah, I mean that's possible. And then Aunt had a very good
Well,
one here
yeah,
too.
they could. Yep,
Go ahead.
yep. I was just going to say that. No, I was just going to say that Aunt Edna had a good one.
Yeah. Yeah. My son and husband saw a doppelganger walking down the beach. My son even ran up to her. He's 32. My back was out. I was at the beach house, but I wished I could have walked the beach. And then she came down. And so I don't know, but it freaked them both right out. And they still talk about it. Um, they say she looked like me, but something was off. And that is very key right there, Aunt, because that is a very common description when somebody has a doppelganger deal that they look
Mhm.
the same, but there's something that's odd about them. Um, I
Right.
pose a theory. This is something I've kicked around for a little while. When you're dealing with certain entities in the wood that can mimic your voice but not your knowledge, you always have a key phrase that lets you know if that person calling to you from the woods is you or something else. I wonder if that would be the same as a doppelganger, or does a doppelganger know that secret as well? That's something I've kicked around for a long time. Um,
Uh,
Corey has something here.
it's
I've Go ahead.
no. I was just going to say what Corey
Oh,
said. Corey said, "I've been wondering if there's a link to easily influenced people being doppelgangered." And there's yeah, but the link you would think would have to be a malevolent type of a link, which refers us
mhm.
back to the whole Lilith and Lucifer thing, you know.
Yep.
Um, so I don't know.
Yeah.
I just
I mean,
I just can't see anything else but to represent, maybe the doppelgangers are actually clones of people to have for certain entities that are linked to Lucifer and Lilith, to have basically like cattle, like endless feeding and endless, like demonic possession, because demons look for people to inhabit that are willing to open themselves up to have that possession. Okay. And basically, look at the trouble the world's in today, you know, and that's all you got to say. I mean, there's so many people that are so depressed and frustrated and angry and resentful, that all that negativity is going to welcome a demon to come in and possess your doppelganger or even yourself. That, and there's so many places we could go with this conversation, but it all goes back to Lilith and Lucifer and the connection there too.
Yeah. And look at the technology they got going on right now, brother. They can actually physically now take somebody's consciousness and put it in another person, and they can put it in a android, and they can put it in a clone body. This is technology that's been going on for a while that they're just now leaking out. Yeah. But I mean, they have that stuff. It's yeah. It, all these possibilities you guys are saying and we're talking about, I can't dispute any single one of them because there's proof for every single one of them out there. There is proof, 100% proof that stuff's going on. So it's like, Jiminy Christmas. They say she walked.
Right.
She has my walk, my body, and my thick waist, length hair. It shook them both. Yeah, and thing that knows, I've heard that often. I've heard that on so many encounters when it comes to that. It's bizarre. It really is.
Yeah.
It, I have no 100% definitive answer to it because there's so many variables out there, and every single one of them makes perfect sense. And it's not far fetched to say every single one of them are exactly correct because there could be multiple reasons why we're having this going on. Low vibrations and frequencies. Yep. The eyes are always
The eyes are
my
always
indicator.
Yep.
Yeah.
The eyes are always the
Especially,
window to the soul.
Yeah, especially because if it's a clone don't have a soul. So when you look into a clone's eyes, all you're seeing is emptiness. Then, of course, if you're dealing with a possession, if you're dealing with a possession, all you see is evil, and it's usually dark. It's usually black in the eyes. It's evil. So I mean, yeah, that's a. But if you're dealing with yourself from another dimension, then it very well could be you look into their eyes and they have life and they have a soul. They're just from another dimension too. So I mean that's another thing to consider on this. If these dimensional beings are other dimensional beings are here either because of what CERN done or because they've learned how to go back and forth between dimensions. All that's possible, man.
Yeah. And
Soulless beings
I like,
before
and Edna's here. I'll wonder
sorry.
what happens if you see them. Well, there's been reports of these doppelgangers actually chasing their counterpart, and terrorizing them and trying to harm them. There was even a report of a young lady that was opening at a restaurant. I'm not going to give the name of the restaurant, but she was part of the morning crew that came in and opened up and got everything ready for the cooks and stuff when they got there, and the waitress staff. And she was in the back area of the restaurant and basically said she had this feeling of being watched, and she turned around, and down the aisle she could see herself standing there, okay, and had a knife, a big butcher knife in her hands. Well, she actually ran and hid inside the cooler to the restaurant where they keep all the meats and stuff, um, and basically held the door closed so this doppelganger wouldn't be able to get in. But when somebody else showed up that was, hired there as far as staff goes, the doppelganger disappeared. So is it a case of only the person that the doppelganger is impersonating can see them, and when somebody else walks into the room, it disappears because of that other person's energy? It really is. It's a question. I don't know. I don't have an answer for that. I really don't.
Yeah. My one experience, when I thought I saw myself, I didn't make eye contact with them. But I know when I looked over, I was like, dude, did I just die? Am I having an outer body experience here? Why the hell am I looking at myself? I mean, this person was probably 20 yards away. And it freaked me the hell out because it had my haircut, my body built, my shape. I mean, it was me, and I was just like, okay,
Exactly.
I have smoked something and I do not know what the hell I smoked or where the hell I got it, but I need to go. But, so I didn't have that
Yep.
experience like you talked about on several different experiences. And that could be because I never made eye contact. I don't know. I know it freaked me the hell out. And I sat there and started questioning everything about me and what's going on. I literally was, no, dude, I'm here. I'm awake. I can feel my fluff, I was just like, I gotta go. Something ain't right here. I gotta go. Yeah, or you could
Yeah,
be a time
Jessica
traveler. Yeah.
brings up a very good point. Yeah. Yeah, Jessica,
Mhm.
that's a very good point. Maybe it is part of the time continual. And the way things are right now, I'm sure Jessica probably agrees with this too, would be that it's a quantum entanglement. It's like I said years ago, um, when Dennis and I and Gerald were on together, it's like all the timelines and the parallel universes are entangled, with each other, and we're right at that center point where they all cross, and connect. So maybe, just maybe, that is it too. There's so many ways we can go with this, and try to slice it and take it apart and try to figure out what a doppelganger is. But I think for the most part, we can really rest assured that most doppelgangers, I say at least 99% of them, are pure evil. So,
Interesting. Glades has a good thing too. I'll hit that up in a second. But beans, we're on Jessica's deal here. I heard my voice yell "time traveler" from across the creek one night in the field. While, dude, I'd probably crap my pants. Like, what the hell? Is that a mimic or
it'd be a fluffy.
is that my fluffy butt trying to tell me something? I can't run, dude, but I can waddle, and I'm going to waddle fast out of here. Yeah. Hey, me, I'm a screamer. Yeah, that would freak me the hell out. Yes, I ain't gonna lie. Some have some have seen their younger
Yeah.
child self doppelganger. I mean, I've heard of that. I've seen. Now, I didn't take it as a doppelganger. I took it as I need to get the hell out before this person sees me. But I thought I've seen that child self me before in the store, and I go, "Oh, this ain't good." Exit stage left. But it wasn't a fluffy doppelganger. I tell you, man. Yeah, Juno. Corey, that happened to me. I had to make up my mind that I needed to fight, and fight I did so many times I can feel it trying to come back to me. That's when I stand with God to help. 100% Roxanne. Yeah. 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 It's wow. It took weeks to realize that it was my voice. And that's curious because this is something that I have thought about many times. And it's interesting that you made that comment, Jessica, because I have often wondered that if I was able to time travel, would I go back to warn myself about things to help get people and myself prepared? Then I was also thought about, I'm going
Hmm.
to save up a bunch of money so my ass ain't broke no more. But I mean, that is one of the things I thought about. If I was able to time travel to be able to do that, and that's when I seen that comment earlier when you said you heard your voice. That's why I paused for a second because I was like, that is literally something that I have wondered if I would do. It's like, hey, you need to wake people up. So, hey, this, and not have myself seen, so that way I didn't think I was having some kind of freaking weird acid trip. Like, when did I do acid and I got this crap going on type deal. But to help me kind of bring out the information and prepare myself. So that's why that comment kind of hit me a little hard there, Jessica, because that's literally something I've considered multiple times of being able to do. I mean, we have plenty of photographic evidence of people time traveling. People's got watches that ain't from that period, cell phones from not that period. We have archaeological
T-shirts.
digs showing
Yeah.
this is possible.
T-shirts and
How can
sunglasses. That's a biggie.
yeah. Well, how about that archaeological dig that happened? What was it, 4 to 6 years ago, where they found a guy in an American, I believe, spacesuit or something like that. He had a broken arm, had a watch, and his remains were hundreds of feet underground, like back to the prehistoric
Hmm.
time. It was out for a little bit, and all of a sudden it just got hushed. Uh, how is it
Yep.
that we're finding hammers, sledgehammers, and stuff like that 40 or 50 foot underground on undisturbed earth, 40 and 50 foot under undisturbed earth.
Well,
That's when
it's
I
like I
started
said.
looking.
Yeah, it's like I said
Mhm,
on Jessica's show the other night when you were on it. Civilization has been built upon civilization, and
mhm.
how are we 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 have no idea how many times that has happened. Okay,
Oh,
and if you're talking millions of years, then you're talking hundreds, if not thousands, of civilizations on top of each other. So it's just a continual. It's like having Jacob's ladder built. One civilization,
yeah,
another civilization, and another, and another, and another, and it's just a revolving history. You know,
yeah.
and
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
it's amazing what we could actually do if we dug down into the ground at our feet. You'd be
Hmm.
amazed at what we could find.
Oh, yeah. We've said it several times. Our civilization, or every civilization, is built on the dust and the bones of the previous one. There is plenty of evidence to show that this Earth has been destroyed 3 different times. We're getting ready to come to a fourth. Now, supposedly the fourth is the final time, which would be having nothing but blessings and good things from then on. But there's a lot of evidence that shows how the Earth has been destroyed, and archaeological evidence to boot. The Earth has been destroyed 3 times previously.
Mhm.
We're finding stuff now that ancient people weren't so damn primitive as we grew up being taught. That they had electricity, they had equipment, they had tools, they had computers. They freaking had computers. You got portals, you got time
Yep, they
travel.
had lights.
So many things
Yeah,
that they told us for
yeah.
years that they didn't have that we're finding out now. Yay, dummies! They actually had it. Which is what I argued for years because I was always the butthole in school. I'd never agreed with historians. I never agreed with mathematicians. I never agreed with them people. Like they try to teach me algebra. I can't stand algebra. I think it's freaking stupid. Why do I want to take 15 freaking steps to get to an answer when I could do it in 2 to 3 steps? Why waste my freaking time? So my college professors would always get mad at me because I'd figure the answer out in 3 steps. Like, you didn't do this right. I said, I got the answer. Did I not? Is this the whole point? Always wonder when one loses time, could it be that one? And I've actually pondered that myself, Roxanne. There's been times I've lost track of time. There really has. I've lost several hours of time. I'm like, where the hell did it go? Like, literally, I was sitting here. Let's say I was looking at a magazine, and all of a sudden I'm cooking dinner. Like, what the hell just happened? I was literally just looking at this magazine, and now I'm cooking dinner. That's not what actually happened. That's just a scenario that I'm trying to tell you. I've had that happen several times. I've literally have left work, and the next second I'm home and how going, dude, I just left work. How the hell did I just get home? I live 45 minutes from my job. How the hell did I just get home when I literally just pulled out of the drive at work? That stuff happens often.
Glades, that's too deep for me.
Yeah,
that's too deep for me.
I look at that as within yourself that communicates with. Yeah, and I'm not just communicating with others right now, but I'm communicating. Yeah, I mean, that's why do you think you pray with your head bowed? Is because God is within you, and that's where you'll find Him. I've seen a program on how they use vibrations and frequencies to turn solid. Yeah. Solid earth into quicksand. But yeah, they also, Ozzy, use it to shape stone. So you can turn a stone into a liquid and shape it to the form that you want. And they believe that's how they did the pyramids, amongst some other stuff too. Everyone hold your questions until we've finished, Corey. I used to hear that a lot.
Oh,
Corey. Hold your questions for Corey. God communicates with you from within, just like, yeah. I do that a lot, losing time. Yeah, Roxanne, it's happened to me several times. It really has. I mean, in some odd crap too. Grace creature, because everything is connected. Yeah, we're all seeing. I tell you guys all the time. We all are connected to the great circle of life, folks. What happens to one happens to us all, and not just on this realm, but in other realms. Not just on Earth, but in space. Whatever we do sends a ripple out in the great circle of life. We are all connected within that circle. So you got to remember that. Yeah. Come here. You better sit still this time, or I'll put you back down, you little butthead. You're being ornery today. Although you're looking good shaved. Got yourself a haircut. So, I mean, that's something we got to consider on that.
I think I'm. I think I'm more confused now than I was when I've asked the first question.
Like a dog and fleas being, yeah. I mean, it's, the earth, Mother Earth is a living, breathing thing, and we got to realize that. You got to respect her, just like we should respect each other. Now, if you do something stupid, I'm bad enough. I've got a bad habit of calling that out. I ain't gonna lie to you. If I do something stupid, I have a bad habit of calling that out as well. On there, William.
You noticed that too, Corey, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, he noticed what I saw. So,
yeah.
I
lose myself at times. Also, I've told what I've said from my dad, and even said it wasn't him or just him. It is the spirit. He is a good medicine teacher. Huh. What I said from my dad. That's interesting. I never really thought about it that way.
Such a big, tough dog.
Yes, I know. Go get him. Attack. Kill. Maim. Bite your ankle. Never mind. I've got taco meat and I got rat dog. Yes, taco meat. Yes, taco meat. Yes, I said your name. Come here, you jealous little 2-pound freaking fajita filler. Jealousy runs so deep with these things. taco meat. His name is Bucky, but I call him taco meat because I swear he's got enough meat. He might fill one taco. He might fill one taco. Is it Taco Tuesday yet? Is it Taco Tuesday yet? Man, you guys are jealous. Come on, guys. Jealousy's getting out of hand here. But yeah, so that's I'm trying to think. Man, we talk about immortals, and I brought this up because Lilith could be one of them immortals. Is this why we're now that she's a demon? She very well could be one of them immortals that you've talked about before, William. There's something to my son on a vibe here. My mom's voice. No comment, Roxanne. But if she's an immortal, that may be why we're still having a lot of these issues that we're having, continually going on and on and on, because she's living out through the centuries, repeating and changing things.
Right.
Them three immortals.
Yeah, that immortal thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the immortal thing is it's a real thing. I mean, a lot of people don't believe in vampires, don't believe in immortals and all that, and a lot of people don't believe that there is alien beings walking amongst us, and living amongst us that can shapeshift and hide their identity. But these are all true things. I've experienced them, and I'm not the only military vet that has experienced it. So,
still,
it's just we've got to figure out how it is all connected. The ones that shapeshift, are they immortals? Are they the immortals? Like Lilith and the fallen angels?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. That's just something we have to think about and figure out an answer. So,
yep. Yeah, it's I mean,
I got a funny feeling there's more than three.
Yeah. I mean, that's why I posed that question, because that possibility is not out of the realm of being true. I mean, if she's creating vampires and she's creating is that why we still have giants? Is that why we had giants after the flood? When the flood was killed the giants off, is that why we got more giants after the flood? Because Lilith's like, hey, wham, bam, thank you, man, next, and popping out these giants and these vampires and stuff like that. It's all possible. Yep. I mean, she's known for doing that. Like I said, she stood there in front of the 7-headed dragon to make a deal with him. She wanted her children back because she was cursed to lose 100 children every single day. So if she's losing 100 children every single day, that means she's out there. She's popping them out with a machine gun effect, man. Spraying and praying, and then she's going to have to do that pretty much every day. The craziest shit they can think of, get close to the craziness of the truth. Yeah, that's true, Corey. Yeah, that's true. That's why you pose this questions. Now, am I saying any of this is fact and true? No, I'm not saying that at all. I'm just saying that's a theory and that's a hypothesis for us to think about. And all of us out here in this world need to be asking that same question and trying to come up with the answer. But it would make sense. She's known as the mother of demons. She's known as the mother of monsters. And she's supposed to lose 100 children every single day because of what she did. That kind of fits in with that she's popping these things out left and right, and sleeping with men, lone men, and stealing their seed. Sleeping with burying demons, marrying Lucifer. I mean, there's all them stories are out there. So I mean, If she's supernatural, it's not uncommon. Look at the story of Ymir. When Ymir was created from the sparks of Muspelheim and the cold of Niflheim, and came together, created Ymir. From him, he created dwarfs. He created Jotnars and stuff like this. And they poured off of him, and they came out of him. Dwarfs came from his armpit as maggots. His legs had sex and created Jotnars. Could this be the same concept with Lilith, or is she out there stealing the seed of this? All these are within that realm of possibility. Study history. History tells you the same stuff over and over and over and over and over. So study it, man.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it is a crazy world, Jessica.
Thank you, Ozzy Suit. Yeah, Jessica's right. It is a crazy world. And we're just trying to figure out the basics of how it's working because it's crazy. So
you're sitting so proper, like, look at me. I am something to stare at. Yachty dotty daw. I am a gentle dog. That's my ear. But yeah, I mean, so hey, it takes a crazy person to think of this crazy stuff, though. Do you think aborted fetuses could be her lost? That is so that is something that I was kicking around if I wanted to bring up or not, Corey. I thought about it last Sunday. I didn't because we got on another subject, but it's linked to what she does. So that kind of stuff there makes me wonder if she ain't the cause of it, if that makes sense. I know them certain facilities. Go ahead.
Here's a thought too, though, Eric and Corey and everybody else. What if the aborted babies, the aborted fetuses or whatnot, represent a sacrifice to Lilith and Lucifer for them to have strength to bring back her children? I mean, that's the bad part about having free will, So and to indigenous cultures, people, we believe that all life is sacred. So
and that's the thing, and I mean, I know what happens with the remains of that stuff, which I don't know if I want to get that on YouTube. We go in detail on that on YouTube because it'll probably get us banned or the show kicked off. But I know what happens. But there is a very good possibility that she's tied to them organizations. Now, if you remember, like I talked about on the show, Lilith comes in and the cause of unborn babies, the cause of mother and baby deaths during birth, and the deaths of infants after birth is all tied to Lilith. That's why I say that comment is a very good possibility. Think about it this way, folks. If she's still kicking and she's still doing this stuff, do you really think she's still going to be doing it the way they used to a long time ago? Or do you really think she's going to evolve with the time and use modern stuff to basically create a super highway for what she's wanting to do?
and think about
I'm
this
a logical
too.
thinker, folks.
Yeah. Think about this too, though. With Lilith and Lucifer, they outlawed people to pray in front of abortion clinics. That's actually a law. It makes it illegal. If it wasn't part of some nefarious, black magic ceremony, then why are they outlawing praying in front of the abortion clinics?
Why are they outlawing protesting in front of them? See, they're outlawing protesting in front of them too. They can protest in front of your church, but you cannot go there and protest. In the end times,
Yep, exactly.
evil will become good, good will become evil. We're watching this shit play out in front of our eyes at the very moment. But I am a firm believer, and I think very logically on this stuff. She's gonna, if she's not behind the making of the superhighway of what we were talking about on there, um, I guarantee you she's a part of it. I mean, she's not going to sit there and go
Right.
back. Hey, back in my day when I was created, we done it this way, and this is the one how we're going to stick. No, she's going to be like, hey, this is like a good idea, and we're going to go around here, and we're going to do this, and it's just going to be like a conveyor belt feeding me.
Mm-hmm.
Look at it this way, folks.
Yeah.
I pose this to you. We'll get out of the supernatural realm for a second, and I want you guys to seriously think about this because we do this every single day, and we don't think about it. Our fathers and our grandfathers broke rocks with a hammer. Now we have a jackhammer. Okay. Our fathers and grandfathers told stories over a fire pit. Now we watch TV. If we're doing this same type of stuff using a modern thing for an easier access, why would the supernatural entities not be doing the same thing? Or the demonic side, or any of it? They're not stupid. Just because they're evil does not mean they're not stupid. And in fact, they could very well be behind a lot of this stuff because there is proof that they're behind a lot of this stuff to gain more souls, gain more access, gain more control. Oh yeah. I didn't know if y'all full-time abortions over there are as our evil government has made. Yeah, they do, Ozzy. One fighting against it, and we're not doing full terms. Yeah, they're talking about now allowing. I think it's California or New York, or I can't remember which one, is now saying that you can kill an infant up to a year after birth or 2 years after birth. Yeah, it's the evil is just this is dark times, y'all. Confusion can run rampant.
Yep.
So
Everything's coming through.
It can. Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Dude, I caught you.
Well,
Asleep.
everybody,
You might as well just do it.
Yeah. I'm about ready to fall asleep too.
He was, and he's like, "Oh my God," he said something. I got to look up. Look at me, I'm so pretty, oh so pretty. Yeah, poser. the thought of the demonology possessing AI is pretty, and yeah, I mean it's, and I created, just before the show, I created some AI stuff, and it's like I always say, use their stuff against them. As demons, do I believe evil has taken over AI? You're absolutely right, but we need to come in and use it to our advantage as well. So you can actually create good with it, but you have to be careful because there's bad with it as well. Yeah, Ozzy. Great point, Ozzy Sue. It's very well maybe the sacrificial abortion babies up to full term. Yeah. Some don't know what they do. Some don't even seem to know or try to know exactly what they are doing. Yeah. Melissa wants to know how Jacob's doing.
Yeah, Jacob's probably sleeping right now. Oh yeah, he just ate and he went back to sleep.
Yeah. Jacob's sleeping and Snow's posing. David, it's absolutely sounds that way. Yeah. I mean, that's something we have to think about. Because I was telling William that his background, I just absolutely love his background. I think that is badass. I was like, hey, I got an idea. So I went on Discord and I created 4 new pictures of the same concept, that background, sent it to him on Facebook Messenger. So, but I use AI to create book covers and characters. And also, if I can't find a picture that I'm trying to explain on, I use AI to create a picture. You guys have seen my shows. I'll tell you, this is my creation. I created
Corey.
this because I don't want people to get misinformation. I'll talk to you hardheads later. Take care. You too, Corey, man. It's good seeing you, bro. I was actually just watching this show earlier before I came on that I made. But so, and if I find something that I can't confirm is the truth, I'll tell you this is possibly AI. Now, like we hit on Jessica's show Thursday too, which I never thought to mention. So I'm glad we were talking about this because it reminded me. Because I was telling William we need to start saying this as well. You can use props to fake something as well. If you guys didn't get a chance to see Jessica's show Thursday night when I was on, you'll understand what I'm getting at when I'm saying using props to fake things. So that's something else that we need to consider too. It's not just AI, but people could be using props to simulate something happening as well. And that way, because if you use a prop, it's we've gotten so used to taking AI and debunking AI photos that we've forgotten about the props, and people are starting to go back to props. We got to factor that in too when we're looking at these photos of evidence. Your eyes are getting heavy, bud. You're so sleepy. You want to sleep. You want to close your eyes and sleep. Oh, you pain in the butt. I love you.
Go to sleep.
So,
sleep.
Yeah, that's the one I'm talking about, Jika. Your eyes are so heavy. You want to close them and go into dream state. Yeah, that's the one I was talking about.
Right on cue.
I'll sit there and he'll stare. We'll stare at each other, and then I'll start doing the heavy eyes with him, and I do it to my cats too. It's funny as hell. And all of a sudden they'll start getting heavy eyes, and you watch them fall asleep. I'm like, I just hypnotized your ass. But if you guys didn't see Jessica's show Thursday night, I suggest watching it, and you'll see what I mean about the prop. Because we kind of break it down in there, and I point out certain things that I've noticed between the two pictures with the puppet and the one that was sent to her. And so we have to factor that in when we're doing our investigations too, is you have to factor in not only is this AI, but could this be prop? And if you notice, when we start catching on to something that they're doing, they'll change their tactics. So they went from props before or fake suits. And then we started catching it, started exposing it, started getting that out there. So they started losing their credit. So then they started doing AI. So AI started getting real good, where it's taking more and more equipment to debunk AI. We're getting to that stage where we're catching on to that too. So now we're so focused on AI that they very well could be going back to that props and suits to confuse people. These people do this stuff all the time, and until you catch that pattern, you won't think about it. And I mean, I done the exact same thing. I knew the pattern, but I did the exact same thing. I got so focused on the AI crap, I forgot about the props and the suits before. So we always, when we're doing these investigations, when we're looking at the stuff, we have to factor all this into that. We really do.
Exactly. Yeah. And it goes back to having the ability to make props look realistic. They said for the longest time that the Patty footage was just a guy in a gorilla suit, and I hate to break it to you, but nah, that wasn't a guy in a gorilla suit. So
when you can see the
muscle,
you can see the definition of the muscle and how it moves.
Yeah, exactly. When you see the definition and the movement of the muscles, yes, that's a definite dead giveaway to show you that it's not fake. And granted, even today they can't make costumes look that good. Look at all the movies that we see about Bigfoot and how they really don't look that realistic. There's just something off. It looks like it's fake. But I don't know. There are some good creature effects out there. Yeah. exactly.
Yeah,
So,
because they can't. That's why they started going to AI to create these things and make them more realistic. Because you cannot build a suit to make it real. Even one that's fitted to you is not perfect. You
mhm,
can still pull out a lot of flaws in it. That's why
yep,
they started going to AIs and movies to create these things because they cannot physically do it.
yep,
Well,
exactly.
well, hello, little
Exactly.
one. So I mean, yeah, it's amazing, but I mean, it is what it is. So I mean, we had some really good topics today, brother. And thank you for breaking down
Yeah,
the
I'm
Stargate and the Native.
oh, not a problem, not a
You
problem.
know,
But
I'm
yeah, if anybody wants to check into a Stargate, the Native American aspect of it, just take for instance the Anastasi. That's the perfect example of a
Mhm,
Stargate. So, they
mhm,
it's kind of like Elvis has left the building. Well, Elvis went home. You know what I mean? So,
mhm.
you know, um, stargates are portals, so, and portals are stargates. So it just depends on where you aim them and what frequency you have them at, and you're there. So
Yeah.
that's why a lot of ceremonies that Native people do also are sung, because when you sing at a greater pitch or a greater vibration than when you just talk.
Mhm.
So that vibration, that pitch can activate the Stargate also. So,
And just like
yep,
healing, I mean, you heal at a certain frequency, you open things at a certain frequency, you calm your brain at a certain
yep.
frequency. Everything is based off of frequency, folks. Thank you, Ozzy. Good night. It was good seeing you, hon.
Yeah, thank you,
I'm so
Ozzy.
glad you're doing
Yeah. Never forget your family, Ozzy
so.
Sue. Never forget.
Yeah, it does my heart good that she's doing better. The sun is actually peeking out from the
Yep.
clouds. Um, Sorry, I just looked out and I'm starting to see
Well,
sunlight. I've
I'm
not seen sunlight in a couple of days.
yeah, we've been on for 2 hours, so we're gonna go ahead and call it a day, guys. Okay. You guys have a great Saturday. Enjoy your Saturday. Don't let the world stress you out. Question everything. Okay. Please question everything. Like, heart, and share this out
Mhm.
and subscribe. And make sure you are still subscribed, because they're doing it again. They're taking people away. So just like I said on
Mm.
Jessica's show the other night, they're basically taking the subscribers away again. I don't know why. So, but everybody have a great
Well,
day.
another thing to
And
think about too before you get off.
Eric, let them know
Another
what
thing,
you got going on.
yeah. Another real quick though. Another thing too, I've noticed this happens to me as well. Is they'll take your notification button and move it to private instead of all. So, like, I was missing some Jessica shows, I was missing some of DA shows because they took my notification from all to private. So, therefore, I wasn't getting anything because my name wasn't attached to it. So, you have to consider that as well,
Hmm.
not just them unsubscribing you, but taking that notification deal as well. So, I'm trying to get that out to let people know. So, yeah.
Right.
So, tonight is Saturday. So, at 5 o'clock, we're going to have campfire chats with Eric and guest. This is a free platform, a safe place for you to come on to and talk about your encounters. If you want to come on live, I'll send you a link, let you come on live and talk about it. If you want to do it in chats, we'll do it in chats. But it's a safe place for you to come and talk about your encounters. It's a non formal show. So, I mean, it's just a group of us coming together, kind of like we're around a campfire and talking about our experiences. So,
Yep.
tomorrow night, um, I am doing at 6 o'clock Central Standard Time is my formal show, The Bizarre and the Unknown, and we're going to talk about the magic of the Ozark Mountains. You've heard me and Roxanne talk about it several times, and I'm doing the Ozark Mountains because that's what I'm familiar with. I live in the Ozark Mountains, um, and I will be getting more in depth on it, more on the hill folk side of it too, because That's what I'm familiar with. I'm not a lowlander. I'm a hill folk. So or a hillbilly, however you want to call it. Um, so there's a lot of magic in these mountains, and we're going to be talking about that. We're going to talk about the mysteries, the creatures, the fays, and all this other stuff that's within the Ozark Mountains. And so that'll be tomorrow's show at 6 o'clock Central Standard Time. The me moving the show from 8 o'clock to 6 o'clock seems to be really good for everybody else, and it seems to be good for me too. So that will be tomorrow. Yeah, and hey Tracy, hi, hon. I didn't see you come in earlier, so I want to make sure I say hi. Um, so we're going to be talking about that, because there's a lot of healing in mountains, and I mean it's not just Ozarks, folks. That's if you live anywhere around a mountain, you're going to have magical powers. You're going to have healing in them mountains. If you know how to tap into it, you know how to help yourself out. So I will be talking a little bit about the healing stuff. I may have to do a separate show on the healing powers of the mountains, from the magic of the mountains. But we will touch a little bit on that, and that's what we're going to do there. I just approved the audio production of my historical fiction book, The Dolph's Land Beyond, which is my Mountain Man series. This is the first book of my Mountain Man series. That should be being released any day now. As soon as Audible goes, yeah, everything looks good, that will be out and available on audio. I've currently got 5 books out there right now. I've got 2 of my cryptid horrors, which is Saga Grimson Book 1, The Beginning, Saga Grimson Book 2, Black Death. And then I've got my 3rd one, which takes place during World War II and the German werewolves, which is called the Vergen Guard Book 1, House of Battle. And then I've got my sci-fi out there, In Our Jar Book 1, Emergence. Now, Vergen Guard and In Our Jar should be out on audio soon. And Black Death should be too. No, I'm sorry. In Our Jar and Book 1 of Saga Grimson are available on audio. My bad. Black Death, I'm having some issues. I don't want to get onto it. That's drama. That ain't made for this show. So I am working on trying to get that released on audio. The Vergen Guard is going well. I'm waiting for the last of it to be done. Once I go through it, I'll prove it and it'll be ready for audio. All these books are available on Amazon for Kindle, hardback, and paperback, though. I'm halfway through chapter 6 of my series of historical fictions called The Two Brothers, War and Turmoil, which takes place in England during Danelaw times when Vikings were raiding England. It's post Ragnar Lothbrok. So I'm working on that, and I started a new concept. This is a whole new genre. I've never done this genre before. I got the first chapter of it written. I will be pulling the artwork voting down this weekend, but on my Facebook, my author's Facebook page, you can go on there. And so far, picture 4 of the book covers that I created that I allow you guys to, I want you guys to vote on, because I write these books for you. So I want you to have a part in the creation of this book just as much as me doing it. So far, picture 4 is up there, but artwork is up there for you to vote on to tell me which one you want for the book cover. And this is going to be for a murder mystery. I've always loved murder mysteries. I've never written a murder mystery. So this is my first attempt at writing a murder mystery. And I can tell you guys now, I don't even know who the killer is. I'm going to find out the same way you guys. That's how I'm going to write this. The killer is going to surprise me just as much as it is you guys. I think it's going to be a fun way to write it. But I do have the first chapter of it written. Well, there's the concept for it. So that'll be another one that I'm working on. So I'm up to like 11 books now that I'm working on right now. But you can find me on Amazon under E.D. Testerman. Click on my book, and my name will be underneath that book. And you click on that, it'll take you to my author's page. And anytime I release a book, it'll send you a notification letting you know it's out. I've got a new one out. 2 games in 15 hours last night. This morning, 7-3 record. Wow.
That's awesome. That is awesome. Well, everybody, thank you for coming on today. And we'll see you all tomorrow morning. Okay. And who knows where the subject's going to take us. We kind of just go with the flow here. So it's going to be interesting. I guarantee that. So we'll see you all in the morning at 11 a.m. Eastern, 10 Central, 9 Mountain, and 8 Western. Right? Yeah, that's right. I think that's right. Anyways, we'll see you all in the morning, okay? Everybody have a great Saturday. God bless you. We love you all. Like, heart, and
Peace,
share,
love, and blessings.
and subscribe.